you all for coming. Appreciate your being here so early in the morning. I'm a designer, as Elizabeth said. I'm not a lawyer. We're covering some legal things. If any of you have questions about legal matters, we'd be glad to talk with you in our suite later today. Alan Kay has been a great inspiration to me as an inventor, as a designer. In '71, he said, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. And this is how I approach life. And this is how MONKEYmedia approaches business. I'm quite passionate about what's possible in the world. And so the way MONKEYmedia was positioned as a company when we were doing design was to look at the far out years, into the 5 to 10 year window in new media, rich media and devices, compared with many other interface design firms that were working in the present day marketplace in either rich media or in functional applications. And from that vantage point, we were able to develop this rich portfolio of intellectual property that we're going to be talking about today. When the bubble burst, we shut down the design division to focus solely on monetizing the intellectual property. And our friends in Redmond have been supportive of this approach. In a quote from a press release, IP licensing is an essential part of maintaining and growing a healthy, strong software ecosystem. And in 2006, there was an announcement of a license from Microsoft of the MONKEYmedia patents, the same exact patents that we're talking about here today. We have sold a number of families of our patents in the past. Some of them you might recognize, some of them you might not. Safe Search, Elizabeth mentioned. Mixed ownership interfaces are patents having to do with having lists such as playlists that have in them songs that you own and songs that you don't own at the same time. So you can send a playlist to a friend, they can play the ones they own, and they can buy the ones that they don't own. Virtual force feedback that has some functionality in games, multi-dimensional topic spaces for navigating visualizations, and polyvectoral reverse navigation. If anyone wants to know what that is, I'd be glad to tell you after the talk. So as a designer, it's pretty exciting to look around the world and see the things that I've created, the things that we've created in use around in everyday life. So I'd like to give you some historical context specific to the SeamlessTV portfolio, kind of place it in time. So we're going to look back at where it all started and take a fun walk through time, if you will. The first key date that is relevant is in 1991 when Apple shipped QuickTime 1.0. And this was the first time that we got to experience digital video on a personal computer in any really meaningful way. So it seems like it's been forever. It's 18 years ago, and that's really when it began. Immediately after Apple announced and brought QuickTime 1.0 out, I started playing with it. I was in graduate school, was wearing a white lab coat and writing code, playing with what could be done with this. And I was interested in different perspectives that people could have on content, whether it's video content or audio content, and because everyone has their own perspective. What matters to them is different than what matters to other people. So came up with some methods for annotating video and other forms of content, and then shrinking up and getting rid of the pieces that were not relevant to them. And this, at that time, I called the relativity controller. Today we call it seamless contraction, and that was invented in 1992, and that's when I first started patenting my techniques. 1993 was when the National Center for Supercomputing released Mosaic 1.0. So there's a lot of dialogue about when did the web really start. Well, I'm not saying it started here, but this is one of the key milestones in 1993. We got Monkey.com right after that in 1994. Also in 1993, I gave a talk at a computer human interaction conference in the Netherlands on the seamless contraction relativity controller techniques. From 1994 to 1998 is when we were working on what we now call seamless expansion. This idea of being able to put optional content that expands a stream of audio or video so you can get more information and come back again where you left off. So we spent several years perfecting these methods, prototyping it, testing it with users, refining it, and in that period of time, some other key things happened. Well, one, our first seamless contraction patent issued. Toshiba released the first DVD player in the United States. So that as a reference point, you were playing with interactive video, what could be possible in digital distribution before the DVD player even existed, before the DVD specification was even ratified. 1997, Microsoft acquired Web TV. Does anyone remember Web TV? Excellent. Well, that was a pretty fun box that could put on your TV a web browser and flip back and forth between the two of them. It was pretty simple and pretty light, but it was the first public attempt to really play with the 10-foot experience with web content. In 1998, in November, we published on the Monkey site information about both seamless expansion and seamless contraction. So 11 years ago was when we started making this information public for people. 1999, we filed our first seamless expansion patent application. Also in 1999, TiVo shipped the first DVR, and The Matrix was released on DVD. And for many people, The Matrix was their first DVD that they bought. It was in fact the DVD that got people to buy DVD players. And we're going to play a clip from that because it's an important DVD to reference. In 2000, I gave a talk back in the Netherlands, tutorial at the Association for Computing Machines Conference on Human Factors about interactive video and specifically on telescoping video, what we call seamless expansion. In 2001, TiVo announced plans to roll out telescoping advertising on their platform. Also in 2001, we received 3 additional seamless contraction patents. In 2002, we received our first seamless expansion patent. And in 2003, 2 more seamless expansion patents, 1 more seamless contraction patent. 2006, the war over the high-def format started when Samsung released the first Blu-ray player. That same year, we announced with Microsoft that license to the SeamlessTV portfolio of patents. In 2007, YouTube launched in-video ads. AOL also launched a form of in-video advertising at the same time. We filed 7 new SeamlessTV patent applications, and we launched the Seamless.tv website. So in 2008, the high-def war was won by Blu-ray. Panasonic shipped the first true two-way HD TV, and simultaneously Comcast launched true two-way service in Chicago and some other areas. 2008, Comcast started shipping DVRs with TiVo, and MONKEYmedia received another seamless expansion patent. So you get a sense of where MONKEYmedia was in relationship to the industry and what was going on that were kind of key milestones in both the digital video space, the TV space, and the internet interactive video space. And then just this summer we launched the formal SeamlessTV partner program.